calling it the Pendle Inn, and they've just allowed us to do a quick ghost tube inside. Picked up a few words. I don't know if you can see that because it's dark. Let's put my light on. Which don't make any difference whatsoever, does it?
Chair.
What do you mean by chair? The judge's chair? Judge were in a chair? Were you sitting in a chair when you were accused?
Wad.
What? I'm saying, what reference is chair? You were sitting in the chair when you were accused? Did something happen regarding witchcraft with a chair?
Cursed.
Cursed? Who's cursed? You cursed someone? The old gentleman? The peddler? Did you curse him? Who am I speaking to? Please, can you tell me who you are?
Shot.
Shot.
Shot? Who was shot? Who got shot? Could you please explain what you mean by shot? Someone shot? Someone shot you? You were shot? You shot someone?
Liar.
Brilliant, yeah, thank you. So who's a liar? Your daughter was a liar? Is that you?
Chair.
Chair again? The judge was a liar? Who was a liar? And what's this reference to the chair? Please, can you explain yourself?
I can't.
I can't. You can't explain more about the chair. Do you know who you are? Do you know where you are?
Humiliate. Close. Scared.
It said about three things. Scared. It said,
What is it that you're scared of? Are you scared because of what happened to you? Are you in a place where you don't know where you are? Should I be scared?
Grandson.
Grandson? When you say grandson, who do you mean? Please tell me your grandson's name that you're speaking about. I just went inside. Welcome to the countryside. And have a guess what is behind me. As we span round, I'm sure you'll be able to see what it is as we come round. More parking, it says. This is Pendle Hill. The scene of the Pendle Witches. Notorious witchcraft trials in which families and families were accused of witchcraft and hanged for the crimes. Tried at Lancaster Lancaster Castle. Hanged on Gallows Hill. Is this not a majestic piece of countryside? It's 139 feet short of being a mountain. It just didn't qualify. So just having a walk down here. Might even put ghost tube on a bit at bottom just to see if I get out. I've had a few words from the Pendle Inn in Barley, which is just at the bottom of this road. But there you go. This is the place where witchcraft allegedly was practiced. And I'm actually walking down here on my own. Into the base of Pendle Hill. And it does feel creepy. There's loads of cars parked at end. I'm assuming for dog walkers or, I don't know, people like us who are interested in this kind of thing. I mean, how eerie is that? It's so quiet. Can hear voices in the distance, but I don't know where they are. So I'm just going to carry on walking down slowly. And now I'm going to put ghost tube on. Well, actually, I can't. It has drained my battery of my phone. So anybody spirit-wise who wants to contact me, don't leap out at trees, for God's sake. Just whisper in my ear or something. Seen a lot of other paranormal groups have done this online, and I think this could be the haunted wood that they were in. And it does seem that way. It does seem very, very eerie. Maybe that's just because I know the history of this place. I just heard somebody say, "Excuse me." Sure, I heard a voice saying, "Excuse me." This is a farm to the left, so I've got my fingers crossed that that's where it came from. Toadstool fairy ring. I don't know if the toadstools are what they are, but they're definitely in a ring around this tree. So I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things, but it is quiet. So just stay here a while. Pendle Hill. See, somebody stood up right at top, I think, unless it's a tree. Just come to the bottom. Oh, ow! Gone over on my ankle. Not like me, is it? Pendle Hill. Right, so this little tiny gate. Ah, this is me on Pendle Hill. I'm on it. Absolutely on the hill. This is me touching it. Touching the hill. A very hilly hill. You don't say. Slow post steps. I think I go slope. Right, I should move away. Yeah, I'd definitely go slope. Ow. I've already fell over once. Got somebody's jumper there. On wall. Base camp. And seeing as we've got a little bit of power left in Ghost Tube, I'll have a listen till it runs out. Now that we're actually on the hill itself. Quiet as the grave. Yes, it's quiet as the grave. Only thing I can hear is sheep in paint distance. Right, I'll just continue listening with Ghost Tube and I'll switch this camera off.
Hiya.
Welcome to Pendle Hill. This here, this we believe, is a trapdoor and cup of Fox's Well, named after George Fox, who drank from it after climbing the hill in 1652, sparking a vision on top of the hill, which led him to set up the Quaker movement. The infamous Pendle Hill. Still in forest. Just to see what it's like. It's a bit dense. Blair Witch this. Some get lost in here. Just goes on and on and on. You can hear birds. Birds, crow maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna have to try and find my way back out of here now. But that's just how dark it can be. There's like spaces in trees as well. Yes, I'm all on my own in the middle of a forest at the base of Pendle Hill. I think it's time to get back out of this forest. And here we are outside Lancaster Castle. Somebody's getting married, bless them, at this church up here. Good luck to them. And this is where we're going to go in a minute. Have a look round. We're at Pendle Witches. Look at. Here we go. This is Lancaster Castle. That huge castle. Look at that beauty up there. Big statue. A guy with a sword. See royalty got here, but they got him for now. That old door, wow. A bolt on it, oh, look at that. Little flap as well, for looking through. Lancaster Castle, also HMP, prison. Walking up and it looks like you can get in everywhere, so not through that gate obviously, but I don't know. Sculpture workshop, it says there, so they might be doing sculptures, you know, with people that's visiting. Might have to book, I don't know. Sadly, no entry. Look at this place, it's big, it's huge. These big gates. Could that be a prison? It's like a bar up window there.
It looks like it's built a prison because it's all in this bit, isn't it?
Yeah. It says female penitentiary. Up there.
She's American, right?
Well, you'd think so, but I don't really know. Maybe they got it off for us. No more see-through lock. Oh my God. What did you do? How can we get you out? What did you do? Somebody's put Teddy in prison.
No.
I've not even got my Urbex t-shirt on. Come to think on it, I ain't got one. I'm wondering if this is a teddy bear trail for kids. For the young people. Teddy number 2. Got to be in it. Oh, blocks in there. The pigeon driving me mad. Scales of justice. This is inside Chapel Courtyard. It's a fire door lock, keep locked. No entry. I'll try this door in a minute. The keep. This is the keep. I'm guessing. Oh, these steps are uneven. Just like it said. Don't go through there then. George Foxy. 1624 to 1691, founder of the Religious Society Friends of Quakers. All men were equal under God and was critical of the established church and of the civil authorities, accused of blasphemy. Fox was brought to trial a number of times, including at Lancaster Castle. He was imprisoned here in 1660 and 1664. Oh look, there's a free exhibition on the story of the Lancashire witches. How very, very thoughtful of them. They must have known we were coming. Nine of the Pendle witches were sentenced to hang, along with Isabel Roby, an inhabitant of Windle near St Helens, who were also accused of witchcraft. Evidence against her was sparse, but she was still condemned, as were conveyed to the moors of the town. Gallows were erected on a hill at the top of the road, allowing room for the crowd to witness the humiliating public deaths. Trials had been notorious, and spectators must have been filled with excitement and trepidation. Big thing in them days, wasn't it, to watch somebody be hung. Over 2 days, on the 18th and 19th of August 1612, 10 people were convicted of witchcraft. On the following day they were taken from the dungeons of Lancaster Castle to the gallows on the moors above the city. They had been found guilty of causing madness, laming and murder through the use of witchcraft. Lancashire was a long way from the capital and government, and was viewed by those in power as remote, wild and lawless. This was particularly the case in the district of Pendle, at the heart of this region where the story of Lancashire witches unfolds. In April 1612, a young woman, Alison Device, asked the pedlar John Law to gift her a pin. He refused, so Alison ordered her canine familiar to lame Law. He then collapsed, paralysed down one side and unable to speak. He had probably suffered a stroke. Despite John Law forgiving Alison, his son Abraham took the matter to the local magistrate, Roger Noel. Big mansion him somewhere. Accusations escalated, and within weeks 19 people were incarcerated in Lancaster Castle, awaiting trial at the Lancaster Assizes. 2 elderly matriarchs nicknamed Old Demdike and Chattox implicated members of their own and each other's families. Subsequently, more locals were accused of attending an alleged witches' sabbat held on Good Friday at Malkin Tower, the home of the Device family. This included Alice Nutter, the widow of a well-respected yeoman farmer, who was possibly on her way home from an illegal Roman Catholic Mass. It may even have been the case that the supposed Sabbath was in fact that very Mass. Wow. Yeah, they dubbed everybody in, but I bet they were tortured and lack of sleep and everything made them maybe do it. Judicially, Lancaster formed part of the Northern Circuit judges' visit twice a year to hold the Assizes. On 18th of August 1612, trials began. Sir Edward Bromley presiding. Thomas Potts served as clerk of the court. It is from his writings that we have any record of the trials. Old Demdike died in a dungeon under this very tower before the Assizes began. Old Chattox was accused of the murder of Robert Nutter 18 years previously. He pleaded not guilty but was damned by the evidence taken from Demdike and James Device. Elizabeth Device, also known as Squinting Lizzie, vehemently denied 3 counts of murder, but her 9-year-old daughter, Janet Device, testified against her, telling tales of familiars and clay dolls. She also mentioned a plot devised at the witches' Sabbath to blow up the castle and kill the governor, Thomas Covell. She described witches mounting ponies and flying into the night air, hag-ridden horses from which we get the word haggard. Needless to say, Elizabeth was found guilty. James Device was next in the dock. He was physically weak. This could have been the result of having been ill-treated while in custody, I'll bet. The terrible conditions in the dungeon, or a combination of both. On his own statement, and further hearsay, he was also found guilty. Anne Redfern, daughter of the old Chattox, was initially acquitted of the murder of Robert Nutter due to insufficient evidence. However, the next day she was accused of killing Christopher, Robert's father. Wow. Described as a more dangerous witch than her mother, Anne was also found guilty. The Samlesbury witches were next to take the stand. Their accuser, Grace Sowerbutts, was an impressionable young girl caught up in a Roman Catholic plot and family dispute. The evidence against the accused was so obviously outlandish and implicated the girl's tutor, Thompson, a Jesuit priest in hiding. Under cross-examination, Grace retracted her accusation, and the Samlesbury witches were acquitted. Wow, they survived. The county, the Palatine of Lancaster. And so they didn't pardon him then. A petition was brought up in 1998 asking for the Pendle witches to be pardoned, but it was decided that their conviction should stand. A second petition was organised 10 years later in an attempt to obtain pardons for Chattox and Demdike. Unsuccessful. Wow. This installation provides background to the case of the Lancashire witches imprisoned here at Lancaster Castle, some in the dungeon beneath this tower. Lancashire witch trials, which took place at Lancaster Castle during the 1612 summer assizes, were made famous by the clerk of the court, Potts' book, The Wonderfull Discoverie of Witches in the County of Lancaster, and the tale has survived ever since. The accused were jailed in the castle, 19 tried and 10 found guilty of witchcraft, sentenced to death and hanged on the moor above the town. Though many think of the Lancashire witches as a single case and sometimes refer to the case as Pendle witches, it was actually more complex. 3 different groups were brought to trial for different reasons, some perhaps mainly through fear and superstition, while for others their Roman Catholic religion, persecuted in Britain all the time, probably had more to do with it. Pendle witches. The case began when Abraham Law accused Alison Device of cursing his father John Alison's grandmother, Elizabeth Southern's known as Demdike, I don't know why, her brother James and mother Elizabeth were also arrested. Anne Whittle, known as Chattox, and her daughter Anne Redfern were also incarcerated. They were followed by a number of friends and neighbours who attended a meeting at Demdike's home, Malkin Tower, on Good Friday, 10th of April 1612. These included Jane Bulcock and her son John, Alice Nutter, Catherine Hewitt, Alice Gray and Janet Preston all faced trial. Samlesbury witches Jane Southworth, Ellen and Janet Burley, betrayed probably for Roman Catholicism by Grace Sowerboats, were imprisoned by Thomas Covell, keeper of Lancaster Castle, and jailer under whose watch Demdike died before trial. Other witches, Margaret Pearson and Isabel Roby, accused separately. The enduring notoriety of the trials probably has quite a lot to do with the recording of the trial by the clerk of court, Thomas Potts. The judges were noblemen, Sir James Altham and Sir Edward Bromley. The prosecution was based on confession secured under duress by the Investigator Justice of the Peace and Magistrate Robert Noel, sorry.
This old ceiling.
Look at that old archway. Just had to move it away because they're swamped by our Chinese friends. Look up there, I don't know what that is. So I'm actually near the dungeon where the Pendle witches were kept. I'm going to walk over to the door that leads down to the dungeon where they were, and I'm going to stand here for a bit. Ooh. Spike outside this cell. Just see. Oh. So I'm actually sat outside the dungeon where the Pendle witches were kept. Goes to, and I'm sitting outside. Pendle witches walked down these steps when they were incarcerated. They were kept in this dungeon, tortured, deprived of sleep for God knows how long. They had the methods in them days, and obviously exhausted, they pleaded guilty, probably just to be left alone. How long are these bells going to go on for? Wow!
What date is it?
Today, I think it's the 18th of September 2021. Were you born a long time ago? Who am I speaking to, please? The bells are driving me crazy. Do you remember when you were alive? What date was it when you were alive? I don't know why any spirits would want to come back here, to be honest, unless you're haunting the place. Would have thought you'd been running loose on Pendle Hill somewhere where you were brought up. If it is you, of course, it could be anybody. Please let me know, who are you? Thank goodness the bells have stopped. I seem to be sitting right underneath them. Goes up a bit. Ooh, spike in here. I've got activity. Make yourself known to me.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. You want me to turn it off? I'm not going to turn it off because I want to know who you are. So come on. Please furnish me with your name. Or who you are. You're trying to contact. Maybe you want to rest, you don't want to be bothered, but it's gone now. Activity, we're just here. It's gone. I think I've just been visited and told off by a spirit of someone. It was just here a minute ago and it's not spiking now at all. How weird is that? Moving it around and there's nothing. No activity. But there was a minute ago. And strangely enough, I'm getting a headache. Just come on. Spirit, stand back from me. I don't want this headache. I'm peaceful. Not here to harm anyone. Oh. Tell a lie. Are you back? Spirit, are you back? Tell me who you are. I feel your presence. Gone now, again. You're not going to talk to me because you want me to turn it off? Where the heck is that spike coming from? Outside this cell, next to the dungeon. Allegedly dancing with the spirit. According to this app, anyway. Come back to me, talk to me. You've disappeared again. Come back to me, talk to me. Where have you gone? Don't leave me. Don't leave me this way. I can't survive. Oh. I am actually, and I'm talking to this phone. So I'm talking to myself because the spirit's just left. It's funny how it's activated a couple of times though and gone off. And now you're not speaking to me because you want me to turn it off. So we're still at Lancaster Castle and we're going to look at where all the public hangings were performed, where people used to come and watch people be publicly hanged. And it's in this corner over here, and beneath us is the old graveyard where all the bodies used to be interred. They used to bury them all in this graveyard, so there's loads of bodies under this car park. And this is the place where the public hangings used to take place, and they were done with a short drop, which is stand at the end of the gallows with a short rope round your neck. The jailer or hangman would simply push you off and you would strangle to death very, very slowly. Shortly after they stopped doing that, took people to Gallows Hill and they were hung with a long drop. We actually dropped through a trapdoor in the gallows on a long rope.
They were touched them up.
And actually broke your neck a lot quicker. What did you say? What did you say they could be where they pushed him off?
Yeah, like that might have been open as a, you know what I mean? Obviously they had gallows, but
Don't.
it had to be high up, didn't it?
Don't what? Don't video? Don't take pictures? Don't talk? Don't hang you? Is it a spirit that's been hung? Is that who's trying to get in touch with me? So I'm not sure what this bricked up archway is, but I am getting activity now just here, as if spirits are back walking around me. And as I said, this car park here is where they buried all the prisoners, and I've just got hate now on here as well. So I guess either they hated it's either the prisoners that hated what were happening to them and the people that were doing it to them, the hangmen, etc., or it's the crowd we're picking up that actually hated the prisoners. A lot of hate would have been in this car park, where I would imagine thousands would have packed in to see, and now flames. So I wonder if the young witches in the olden days, not the Pendle witches, because they weren't hung here, but before that, they may have been hung and burned, because they used to burn the bodies. As the guide has just told us, they used to put a stake through their heart as well, so they couldn't come back into the body.
Bury him at Crossroads.
And bury him at Crossroads. Burn bodies of the people that they hung. So that's so interesting. And this app's turning up quite a few things. I've got a bit of activity. I've got a spine cover here by this door. You can sense the hate and the loss and terror, fear, and I've got a beam here. Is that, whoa! I've been attacked by a bee or something. Ah, a wasp.
A girl.
Yeah, but it could be something to do with spirits. You don't know, it's got to go now. I'm going to let have you. So they used to come from miles around to watch people being hanged in this very corner. And the bodies would be either burnt or buried in this car park. So according to our guide, that we just walked around the castle with, we are now walking on hundreds upon hundreds of bodies that were just simply concreted over. They didn't have any graves, they didn't have any headstones, they were just buried in grounds. Not sure if they were put in mass graves or just simply buried as their turn to be executed came along. This was Lancaster Castle, and now we'll go and see where the Pendle witches were hung on Gallows Hill. Don't what? Don't video? Don't take pictures? Don't talk? Don't hang you? Is it a spirit that's been hung? Is that who's trying to get in touch with me? But I am getting activity now.
Hate. Flames.
To see, and now flames, so I wonder if
Burn, weren't they?
I've been attacked by a bee or something. Ah, a wasp.
A girl.
Yeah, but it could be something to do with spirits. Just arrived at Williamson's Park in Lancaster, the home of Gallows Hill, where the Pendle witches were hanged. 1880. Williamson. Park. Ashton Memorial. And that's on the site of where the gallows used to be. The gallows for the hangings, including the Pendle Witches, the highest point above Lancaster. So at this site where they were hung, there would have been thousands of people standing here, thousands upon thousands from all over the country, come to watch the hangings in this area. And the gallows were built at top of here, made at top of this hill where the memorial now stands. Amazing view. This is where they were. They're up here. Pendle Witches. That's where they got hanged. In front of a baying crowd, no doubt. Fantastic view from up here, but not if you're being hung. There's some intricacy on this building, isn't there? So we're just walking away from the Ashton Memorial at Williamson Park in Lancaster, which stands on what was once known as Gallows Hill. Some people also claim that the building is haunted by those who were hanged from 1800 to 1865. Executions were moved to the grounds of Lancaster Castle, and the spot chosen became known as the Hanging Corner, which we've already covered.
How old are you?
Me, I'm older than what you think. I'm knocking on a bit. How old are you? And who is speaking to me? And what do you want to know how old I am for?
Cover.
Cover? What kind of cover? Cover? You're covered?
Whiskey.
Whiskey? Are you actually saying that people that came to watch you be hanged, if you are the spirit of anyone that was hanged here, that they were selling whiskey to people that came to watch? Or are you a whiskey seller that sold whiskey to people that were watching the hangings? Are you one of the Pendle Witches?